I try to amend, it goes over again.
Oh, well, hello. Oh, boy. I'm having a difficult time today trying to find a composition. And it's a partly cloudy day. The light is constantly changing from cloudy to sunny to partly sunny, which really isn't a huge problem. But the more important issue at hand is actually trying to find something to shoot today. Well, I think I probably mentioned this in one of my other videos, is that, as well as a number of other photographers have, sometimes revisiting old locations can yield some pretty good benefits. And that's what I decided to do today. I decided to revisit a couple locations that I shot probably over the summer last year. And I'm going to shoot one or two of the exact same compositions. Now, of course, being that this is a different time of year, it's going to look entirely different. So I'm hoping that I can get a different look. The lighting is definitely different now than it was last summer. So I'm going to go ahead and make my way out to the first location and set up and see exactly what I can come up with.
On repeat until the end, every single time, and lately I've been having that same dream, and I'm dreaming all the time. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Well, you know, as bum luck would have it, I walked out of the house without my L bracket. So I have the tripod set up, but I can't attach the camera to it. So what I've been forced to do is shoot free-handed without the tripod, which isn't a big problem. I just simply increased my ISO a bit, opened the aperture up just a little bit, and in this particular setting, that's actually not a bad thing. The composition I've been looking at is actually right here. You can see this tree with the yellow leaves. I've already taken a couple of shots, and the light's been varying, as I mentioned earlier. It's a partly cloudy day, and sometimes we're getting light, sometimes it's a bit cloudy, but actually it's giving me a pretty good variety, so I'm rather enjoying it. And besides, I haven't shot actually an automatic in a long time. I'm shooting aperture priority. For the tree, what I've done is I've shot at about f-stop 5.6. So that should kind of soften the background a little bit and draw emphasis to the tree and these yellow faded leaves. And as you can see, it's actually kind of being accentuated by some of the green vines that are actually on the trees around it. So I think I've got a couple of pretty good shots with that. So let's see what else I can find. Oh, and by the way, I did say I was going to actually shoot a couple of compositions that I shot before, but along the way I came across this, and I simply couldn't pass it up. So hopefully I'll have the same luck when I'm on my way to the next composition. All right, see you in a few. Okay, I'm at my next location, and the light isn't very flattering. So what I'm going to do is I found another composition here. It looks like there are two forked trees to the left. And these trees right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a shot here. We're getting just a little bit of side lighting on the trees. So this is actually a much more favorable lighting situation for this particular type of shot. The light coming somewhat from the back just wasn't working that well for this particular composition. But on this, it might work pretty well. Okay, I've increased my ISO to about 400. I'm still at f-stop 5.6, and I'm at about 25 millimeters. So I'm going to move in a little bit closer and take this shot. Okay, I think I got a couple pretty good exposures there. What I've done is I've used the edges of each of the trees on the outside, to the left and to the right. I've used those trees as somewhat of a frame to frame the actual tree that's in the center. So I'm eliminating a lot of the confusing or dead space on the outer portions of each shot. So hopefully that will work pretty well. And once I get back home and process it in Lightroom and Photoshop, hopefully I should have something decent that I can work with. All right, I'm going to see if I can get perhaps one more shot before I pack it in for the day. And well, one thing I've noticed, anytime you say that there's nothing available, that's not completely true. There's always something available to shoot. You just have to find it. In a situation like this, you have to find something that you can isolate. Because as you can see, there's a lot of clutter and congestion in the surrounding area. So it's a matter of being able to pinpoint something, isolate it, and make it stand out. And that's what I'm attempting to do. And I think I've been able to do that on the first two images that I've taken. So hopefully I can get one more in the bag, and well, let's see what happens again.
Crazy, I've been living the same life, and it's driving me insane.
Okay, I think I found my last composition for the day. If you look behind me, there's a tree right here. And you'll see there's actually a root that's actually growing right up and around the tree itself. What I'm going to do, the bark has a pretty interesting, really rugged, textured pattern to it, as well as the root itself. So I'm going to go ahead and get a shot of that. And I've already taken one ahead of time, so it looks like it might be pretty good. And with a little bit of post-processing, hopefully I can do something with it. All right. And my settings haven't changed. I'm still at, I'm at ISO 400, f-stop 5.6. All right, I think I've gotten a couple of halfway decent shots. And unless I find something along the way as I'm leaving, I think that will probably be it for the day. But I think it's been relatively productive. I think I do have something I can work with, and hopefully I can get a decent image out of them. So, well, as always, if you've enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to comment, like, and please subscribe. All right, until next time. Well, as circumstances would have it, as I was packing everything up and heading in, I came across a small cluster of grass, green grass, and right in the center it had two yellow buds that hadn't quite opened up yet. They were in the process of trying to determine what they were going to do. Well, I actually couldn't resist taking a couple of shots of them, so that's precisely what I did. By this time, the light had gotten pretty low, and I had to increase my ISO to around 1600. But I'm using the Nikon D810, and it handles the higher ISOs quite well. The next image is an image of that shot. I actually processed it with the last step in Topaz Studio 2 and gave it a very slight impressionistic look, which would also kind of counteract a lot of the grain and give it a very soft, semi-painterly effect. Well, I hope you enjoy it, and well, until next time.